Hey guys, just gonna shoot a quick video today. I've been actually wanting to do this one for a while. I don't know if I had done one previously on just my foreign collections. So what I've done is I've gone through and I've picked out all the ones that are foreign. And when I say foreign, it means not a US release. So that could be the UK, that could be different countries. I just realized I forgot one, I'll have to grab it. But yeah, so I've got quite a few of them. And the reason I collect them is a lot of them have really cool covers, artwork cover. Some of them not so much, but I'm just always interested in finding different ones that are out there that you don't expect to see in the wild. When I did visit Australia at one point in time, and unfortunately, when I was in Australia, I did not pick up any books at that point. And one of the books that I did see at a bookstore that I considered was it was a Harry Potter. It was the first Harry Potter book. It was around that time when that came out and was popular before the movies. And it was the first edition Australian release. And now, if you look online, one of those in really good conditions go for a lot of money. So, dang, I should have picked one of those up. It could have funded more of my King purchases. But let's go ahead and get this started. We'll kind of start with one of my favorite of his, and I think everyone has a special place for it in their heart. It's the Dark Tower, and I actually have three of them, and they are in. I want to say these are French. This company Jailu. I'm probably totally slandering that, mispronouncing it, whatever. But they do a lot of the French books. So we've got Le Pistolero, which is the gunslinger. Drawing of the Three. See the artwork. And the Wastelands. So got the Dark Tower series there. Then I do also have, I believe this is the Drawing of the Three in Italian. And Drawing of the Three in Chinese. And I've got a couple of the Chinese books, so I think that's kind of cool. You don't really see that a lot, so very very cool to see that. Then we also have this is going to be probably my favorite book, and this flips between it and The Stand. So right now it's The Stand is my favorite book. So I have The Stand in Japanese, and this is part one. And the Japanese books a lot like this come in this smaller size, and the 1, 2, 3, and usually they're in 4 parts, will go together to make an entire picture. So there's another one that goes, I'm not sure if it goes on this side or this side, but it would be continue the picture. It'd be all one picture. So that's kind of cool that they do that. So I've got The Stand in Japanese. Then we also have it in French, and this one is the third of a I want to say it's a 3-part set. This particular, again, this company, there's 1, 2, and 3, and then they all go together to make the entire picture. But then there's also where they do it all together in one book where it's not broken up into parts. I don't know if it's like condensed or whatever, but this is just one single book. So I've got that as well. Then I do also have another one of the Chinese books that I have. It is The Stand. And the funny thing about this, I got this right as Corona was starting, and everything was locking down, and here it is, this virus from China, and that takes over the world, and here is a book about a virus that takes over the world in Chinese. So I just thought that was kind of funny that I happened to order that just in time for it to deliver, and it looks like, yeah, that was a New York Public Library adoption. And then we also have the big paperback with the artwork that came out in like 89 or 88, whenever they re-released it in the complete form. That artwork there, and then Le Flou, so it's in French. And I've got the actual English hardcover version of this, of course. Let's move on to my second favorite book, It, and I've got several of these. And like I said, I'm going to include the ones that I have that are UK releases. So I've got this one here, this cover. I just actually randomly picked this one up at a half price books a while ago, I think. So that's kind of cool to come across that. Then I also have more of the French ones, and this one is a good example of it. Here's number 2, here's number 1, and here's number 3. And if you put them all together, they make one single image. So that's kind of cool that they do that. And this actually, you can kind of see at the top how, you know, the Stephen King is red and the Stephen King is white. There are actually 2 editions of this. They use the same artwork, but the lettering is a little bit different. So I have number 3, and I need 1 and 2 of this edition, and then I have 1 and 2 of this edition, and I need number 3. But it's the same artwork, so I still kind of have a complete set, even though it's not quite. But I'm always on the lookout for the other ones. Then I also have It S. I want to say, I believe this is in Spanish. I like that work with it, and you got the picture. Very cool. Then we also have Ka again, and this is book 1. I believe this one is only a 2-part set, and this one is also in French. It's a little bit bigger than the other French books, so that's pretty cool. Then we've got some of his nonfiction, which is kind of interesting. So Dance, and I always get this wrong. I'm not sure. It's Macabre, Macabre. I'm not sure. So Dance Macabre or Macabre, but we have one of the smaller French versions. Again, it's that same company. Oh, same company. And then we have, I believe, is this a UK? Yep, this looks like it's it says Great British Pound. So it's a UK edition. So pretty cool. I got that one. This one is a little rougher shape. It's a little bent up, but, you know, still pretty cool. Then we have Different Seasons. And Different Seasons is one of my favorite collections of his. That and probably Skeleton Crew. Night Shift might be in there too, but I really enjoy, you know, the Shawshank Redemption, The Body, you know, all everything in it. It's an excellent collection, and a lot of people, I don't think, you know, when they think of Stephen King, they don't necessarily think of the type of stories that are in this one, because they're not all just horror, which is kind of nice. It's a way to introduce somebody to King that's not, you know, ooh, scary. But I have it here, and I'm not sure. I want to say this may be either in, I believe this is actually Italian. And again, this was from a library, so not 100% sure. If anyone else knows for sure, if you can tell, you know, leave a comment, let me know. But then we also have, oh, that one's not a foreign edition, so grabbed the wrong one. Then we have this one, and this is a 2-parter. There's 2 of them, and this one I want to say is Spring and Summer, and then the other one, it's the other picture. It's a slightly different, you know, the other side's covered, and it says it on the other side, and it's Fall and Winter. So here's 2 of the seasons, so they've broken it up into a 2-parter, and this is French as well. Then I have Just After Sunset in Japanese. Interesting image. So I'm just always cool to see King in other forums and other languages. And then this one's kind of cool. It's from Night Shift. We have Children of the Corn in Japanese, and I like the shininess of the name on the cover. Very cool. To his Richard Bachman days, we have The Running Man in German in this nice little turtle hardback edition. Got that off of Thrift Books several years ago. Very, very cool to see that. Then we have a UK edition of The Dead Zone with the shiny Stephen King embossed with the blue lettering. Love that. There's an entire series of his early works that have kind of similar type artwork and feel to them, and I'm always on the lookout for those. I love to come across them. I haven't had much luck, but I'm always keeping my eye out. Then we have, and these are both, I want to say, UK editions, or yeah, I'm pretty sure they're both UK editions. I'm not 100% sure, but we've got from a Buick 8. We've got the black cover, and then we've got the lighter kind of bluish cover. So both pretty cool. I actually enjoy From a Buick 8. I thought it was a good story. You know, it's not a lot, not on a lot of people's lists, but you know, it was entertaining and I enjoyed it. You know, I put it next to Christine. You know, Killer Cars. I figured they all go together. Then the next one is Revival, and I have I believe this is my final Chinese edition of Revival. So that's the last one, Chinese book that I have, so I think that's kind of cool. And then we have it in Polish. So that's pretty cool, and I love the artwork on this one as well, so that's so cool. And I do actually have a Playboy in Polish as well that has a Stephen King story in it. I'm not going to dig it out, but that one I ordered on accident. I didn't even realize I was looking for the U.S. copy, which I did get a copy of it, so I've got both. But yeah, I didn't even mean to do it. I got a Polish one in the mail, and I'm like, what is this? So let's just say Polish Playboy is classier than American Playboy. Not that it matters to me and my fiance John. So next one we have is also one of my favorite ones. It's in my top 10 of King books. It's Firestarter. And we have the UK hardcover edition. And I thought this was pretty cool. You can tell it's an older one just because on the back it lists in the author of Carrie, Salem's Lot, The Shining, Night Shift, The Stand in the Dead Zone. So he only had a few. Nowadays it would take you hours to read off all his work. So very, very cool. The only thing is this was definitely from a smoking home. I got it on Thrift Books, so I didn't get to see it beforehand. But it doesn't really have that smell anymore, but you can tell the pages were kind of yellowed. So it's in a little rougher shape, but still, got to keep it. Then we have French. And in French, they actually don't call it Firestarter, they call it Charlie. And it's supposed to be that thermometer at the farmhouse when the agents come and she starts using her powers. Love this story. I'm so excited for the remake that's being made and coming out. I hope they do it justice. Firestarter is always one of my favorite ones. I would love for them to actually maybe even do a series like on one of the streaming services of maybe a grown-up Charlie and what's happened to her life afterwards. So, you know, keep it in mind. Maybe something will happen. Then we have Carrie. Boom. And this is, again, one of the French ones. And this one is a little different than some of the others. It's a little bit taller for some reason. The other ones are only about to here, and this one just goes up about another inch. So I don't know if they just changed the type or if maybe this is a large print. It's got a bigger border around it. You can kind of tell. The other one didn't, and the print was right to the edges of the page. So they just must have changed their design on it. And then, of course, it's got like the Sissy Spacek from the movie picture on it. Then we have Black House, Stephen King and Peter Straub, and this is a great UK edition. So thought that was kind of cool there. Then I believe that was a UK edition. Maybe I was wrong on that one. No, this one might not be a UK edition. I'll have to check that out. They have then Needful Things. Now, and it's kind of interesting. Again, these are the French versions. They're the smaller books, but it doesn't look like the artwork goes together. So I don't know if they were different runs or what, but Bizarre 1 and Bizarre 2, but the artwork doesn't go together on either way you do it. But the lettering is the same and the name is the same on the top. So I don't know if it's just they decided not to do the artwork on this one or what, but I do really, really like the image of Gaunt, and then you can see the faces coming up in the smoke. How creepy is that? Like I said, the foreign ones have some of the best art. Don't get me wrong, some of the U.S. editions have really good art, but a lot of them are just ho-hum and plain Jane. But the foreign ones always just kind of blow me away. Christine, boom, got a Spanish edition of this, which is kind of cool. You know, I don't think I have a lot of Spanish editions. I did at one point in time randomly pick up a copy of the Langoliers in Spanish, Los Langoliers, at Walmart and gave it to a friend for Christmas because he was really into languages. So that was kind of cool. That was just a random find. Didn't keep it in my collection. I probably should have grabbed up a copy for myself as well, but it was better to give it to him as a gift. So next we have the Tommyknockers in German, Das Monstrum. And it's not a super impressive cover. It's just the green background with the forest. The book's a little rough. It's kind of, I don't know if it's got some water damage, but it's kind of like bowing out at the bottom there. So little rough, but you know, still got a place in my collection. I'll adopt any books. Next we have Dreamcatcher. Again, another Alien book. Goes in well with the Tommyknockers. I do keep them together on the shelf because they're his Alien versions. So in this one, it's Japanese, and there's 4 of them. I only have 2, 3, and 4, unfortunately. But they actually go together and make a really cool picture. So let me see if I can hold these up. Let's see. It's got the birds flying in front of the cabin, and the deer all running, and he's walking down the road, and just very, very cool. So I really do enjoy how they do that with the Japanese books. I'm always on the lookout for number one of that one, but you know, no luck so far. Fingers crossed though. I've got it on my list on thrift books. Next we have, again, one of my favorite ones, The Green Mile. You can see there's quite a few of them on the shelf behind me there. But we have The Green Mile in the UK edition. Love that cover with the chair and the green tinge. And then we also have, I believe this is a Greek edition, and I randomly picked this up in Nebraska of all places at a cool little shop called, I want to say called the Emporium downtown in the Haymarket district. Totally cool. You should check it out. There's also a restaurant across the street called the Monster Bar, I believe it is. They have really good food, but it's got a horror theme, and there's, you know, a lot of King references in there. So if you're a King fan, you should definitely check that out. And then I got two more I'm going to have to get up and grab, but the last one here that I have is the Eyes of the Dragon. It's you know, not one that necessarily a lot of people know King wrote. You know, it's not necessarily one of his more popular ones. I enjoyed it. It's kind of fantasy, not so much his usual style. He wrote it specifically for his daughter, something for her. So it's got a very, you know, special place, you know, in his life. So I think that's kind of cool. But I have two French copies of it, and again, this is a different company than the other French one, so it's a little bit bigger, and it's got this interesting artwork on it, and it's a Pocket Junior edition, and it still has all the illustrations in there as well. So let me see if I can find one. Yeah, so all the illustrations are still intact, so very cool. And then the other one is a hardcover edition, and this was a library book from, actually, I don't even know how to pronounce where it's from. I think it might be somewhere in French Canada. So we'll just go with that. But yeah, very, very cool. I like that. Again, also has the artwork. So very cool. Okay, let me grab this one real quick. Now this one is one of my kind of fun finds, and it's in a bag because it was hanging up on the wall, it's Misery in Arabic. And I've never come across a King book in Arabic, so I had to grab this one real quick. And they've got a picture on the back showing Christine, The Green Mile, Different Seasons, and The Running Man. So there are other books of his out there, so I'm always keeping an eye out for that. And then the last one, here we go, is Cycle of the Werewolf in German. So that's pretty cool. I like that. It's a smaller edition, smaller pages. So kind of cool to come across that one. And again, it also has the illustrations. So very cool. But I am pretty sure that actually is most of my foreign editions. So I hope everyone got a kick out of that. Is there anything particular you collect that's different or unique? Any, you know, other than everyone's always looking for first editions, you know, I'm always looking for, you know, foreign editions and unique ones, and, you know, just even old library books, whatever. So if there's something special you collect, you know, go ahead and leave me a comment below. And I hope everyone is staying safe and keep reading.